By the way, this video is split in two. The first one is actually the History of MYWORLDMANGA2 and will be uploaded here. And the second part is going to be on Salus Archives because it's literally just me yapping about the future of My World Manga and the ideas that I have for it. Anyway, enjoy the History of MYWORLDMANGA2. I wanted to make this video just so y'all actually understand where My World Manga 2 came from and pretty much the entire history with it and my passion for drawing and creating comics and stuff. This video is not going to be professional whatsoever. It's just me unscripted yapping about stuff. This is pretty much how My World Manga 2 started and how all that stuff started. So the first ever piece of me ever making comics or me drawing an original character was back in, I don't know, because none of the comics, if you could say, it was only really one comic and one drawing. None of that survived, but I do have proof that there was a character that I made way back when through, I shit you not, bonk.io. That game. That character being Baghead. Now, Baghead was interesting. I have no clue. Well, I made the character, and I know exactly why I made the character. One of my favorite cosmetics to ever put on in Little Big Planet was the Baghead and the eyes that glow. I always loved that. So I was like, I'll make that a character. So I made a character named a Baghead. I think, if I remember correctly, he had a green shirt and I think blue overalls. Again, it's been years, but the gameplay footage in the background is bonk.io, which is the only surviving piece that I ever have of Baghead, because all the comics I made of Baghead were on fucking sticky notes. So, yeah, none of that survived. Pretty much the lore with his character, I actually don't know if there was any lore. All I know is that he had a son and a wife. His son was that fucking firehead kid from Riddle School. This one. Yeah, not when he's cold, specifically when he had firehead. Which I think is funny. And his wife was, I shit you not, Lily from the game Pokemon Sun and Moon. 2016. So I probably made the Baghead character in 2016, 2017. It's just kind of a, like, he was the first. And then after that were the infamous fan fictions, friend fictions, that got me, I think, suspended from school for like 3 or 10 days. I do not remember. I know it was a ridiculous amount of time. I was out of school. My dad wasn't even mad when because he knew that like he was like, oh, we have another passionate writer. Just keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. Don't share none of that. But yeah, those two friend fictions, which you can still read to this day, I actually have the original files to them. They were made in 2018. I always thought they were made in 2017. They were not. They were made in 2018, or at least uploaded to Google Drive in 2018. These are technically the start of My World Manga 2. Silas X Bree and Silas X Noah. Now, the thing that, like, Silas X Bree is barely canonical, but in one singular panel of Chapter 1, it actually referenced that story. So, yeah, it did happen. That was a thing that happened in the Silas character's life. Silas X Bree was canonical. But Silas X Bree, I cherish that story. I made an entire fucking animation to it because I thought it was so funny. Yeah, I made an entire animation to it just because I wanted a more cooler way for people to see it instead of just reading it. But yeah, Silas X Bree. And then there was another story, which I think came out way later and wasn't as interesting. That was Silas X Jack X Mudahar, which was a fan fiction between the Silas character Jack, who is canonically Silas's brother, and fucking Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers. And I think Zach from fucking Oni Plays is referenced in that shit too. It was the most dog shit fucking thing ever made. And I actually lost the original version of that story because there were supposed to be like 3 short stories after it, and then I just stopped making it, and then I just lost those. But the main full story is still there. All these old stories you can read in the description, in the blog spot, or you can watch the animation on YouTube through HQ Silas Sterling. But it's age restricted for obvious reasons. I didn't do it. YouTube did. After that, there was one more story that was put out before I worked on a fanfiction, and that story was Sonic 3 and Dead. Sonic 3 and Dead is really fucking funny. Sonic 3 and Dead was actually a continuation. This came out way later. It was a continuation of South X Noah, but it was like Noah comes over at the end of Sonic 3 and Dead and like apologizes for everything that he did. But since I was at like a new school and I couldn't do sexual shit while I was writing it in the middle of fucking class, I was like, okay, well, he hit my head with a hammer. No. Not at all. No, he forcefully had sex with Silas. I don't know how the fuck Noah thought that was an okay story. I think Bree, though, she fucking hated it. I was no longer friends with her after that day. But yeah. See, after Sonic 3 and Dead, then I moved on to a new story, which didn't really go anywhere, but like, how I make My World Manga 2 was how I made the new story. And this is, from what I remember, this is exactly how I remember it. This is what the new story was. It was me sitting in class, bored out of my fucking mind, and then there was going to be 4 new students who joined the school. And the teacher like introduces the fucking students and goes, here's our new students, Monica, Yuri, Sayori, and Natsuki. And I was like, oh, those are the characters from my game, they're fucking real. And it's supposed to be like a giant literature club, DDLC literature club fan fiction. And I never made it far in that. I think I made like a fucking paragraph of it, and then I was like, I don't want to write anymore. I'm sick of writing this shit. And I don't know when that story was made. It was probably sometime in 2020. But there was so much to that story that was supposed to happen. I think there was supposed to be like a giant arc of Yuri and Natsuki and Monica being lesbians or something. I don't fucking know. I think I was like getting married to fucking Yuri in that story. I genuinely do not fucking remember, because this was a long time ago, and how I make the My World Manga stories and how I made these stories were the exact same. I was just laying in bed and just fucking thinking them up. So, but it's been so long. Like, I can't really describe what happens, and I genuinely don't remember. I think I remember how it ends, though, and it's like we enter a portal, and that's where the start of My World Manga 2 would happen. But I don't fucking know, and it was never canonical. It never happened, because that would bring a lot of stupid shit with it. And then this is when My World Manga 2 actually started. The original start to My World Manga 2. And oh fuck, there is like 3 different beginnings to My World Manga 2, which I'll probably put in the description. So there was there was the one before Jack was even conceived as a character. Okay, this one's the DDLC shit. Oh my fucking god, there's so much. Okay, I had to cut out a lot of my bullshit, but I'm reading this. I'm looking at this because this is the original starting to My World Manga 2. There is so much. Like, there is actually like probably like 2 or 3 paragraphs worth of bullshit in here. And what I find really funny is that this actually makes reference to Godzilla for NES. Godzilla Monster of Monsters. No, it's not. It's referencing the fucking old Godzilla VHS tape that I had. Never mind. God damn it, I'm a fucking idiot. I wish it was referencing Godzilla for NES, because I think it'd be a really funny coincidence that it'd make like reference to that, because genuinely Godzilla Monster of Monsters is my favorite NES game. I'm not playing, I'm not joking. It is my favorite NES game. I think it's a hidden gem of the console. It's not that bad. But reading this, and if you're gonna read this, because it's probably gonna be in the description, you need to know this was made possibly 2018, 2019, possibly 2020. Back then, I liked doing a lot of anime trope shit. You can actually see that anime trope shit with the first, like, comic pages of MYWORLDMANGA2. Like, some of the first pages of MYWORLDMANGA2, where it's just, like, a really horny girl being practically sexually assaulting Silas. And I'm looking at this. This is the most awful shit to fucking read. Especially in, like, today's time. And I see references to fucking Mutahar in here as well, which means Silas X Jack X Mutahar was canonical. And I'm going down here and I'm seeing a character named Emiko, who is Akako's friend. Emiko is not a fucking character in MYWORLDMANGA2. That is a character that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure Emiko... I think I actually repurposed Emiko into Emily. I think Emily's original name was Emiko. And then I was like, I don't remember that name. I knew it started with an E. I think it was Emily. And what you're seeing in the background is what I'm looking at currently. It's just a wall of text. And this is the original beginning. And I'm seeing so much incest bullshit in here. Oh my fucking god. I don't like that, like, the second line, Jack, she's 14. There's fucking... Oh my god, dude. This shit is atrocious to look at, dude. I can't read this, man. Bro, we play in that sicko mode. Oh, fucking god. My entire comprehensive knowledge of anime was from shit like fucking To Love Ru, Boku no Piku, and fucking Sojiro Moon. That was my entire fucking library of shit that I know about fucking anime. And I know that, like, lolly stuff was a huge part of the anime shit. And that is something you need to know about reading this, and possibly even just some of the pages of MYWORLDMANGA2. Because back then, my entire comprehension of anime, because I rarely fucking watched it. I've watched, like, fucking 4 back then. If you're counting Sonic X. And I always saw, it's like, oh, there's always, like, a little girl character, and they're always doing weird-ass shit. So I think I made Akako, like a fucking clingy little sister. Even though that's not who she is now. Who she is now in the current MYWORLDMANGA2 is just, like, a little prankster. She's a little fucker. A little piece of shit. Like, she's not an asshole, she's a little prankster. I was about to say, think of Jax from Amazing Digital Circus, but I never fucking watched that shit. All I know about Jax is from the fucking music video to Jax Toy. But, still. If you do read this, again, just remember, the most I know about anime was through anime memes, and those fucking memes were always like, oh, traps and shit. Fucking anime boys in maid suits. Little girls. Like, that's all I fucking knew about anime. Because the only shit that I actually did watch was To Love Ru, which is not a good introduction anime. You want a good introduction anime, go watch fucking Dragon Maid. But, still, this was the original beginning. There is so much sexual innuendos in here. Holy fuck. But yeah, I stayed on this one for too long. It's just so much. I'm gonna give you time to read it. It's not all of it. There's still, like, another paragraph to go. And the fucking blogspot's broken. But, anyway. So yeah, that is the original MYWORLDMANGA2 beginning. And I scrapped it because it was all writing and I didn't want to deal with all of it. So I was like, okay, I don't want to write it. I want to make it a comic because I started getting really inspired by shit like Nan Nico's Sugar Girls, Tails Gets Trolled, and Sonichu. I think Sonichu was the big one that I got inspired by. Because the drawings and all those are so dog shit, but, like, the stories are actually not that bad. So then I was like, I'm going to use MS Paint. I'm going to use MS Paint and make my comic. And then I had to make a website to actually host My World Manga 2. So I was like, okay, I can't think of a clever name, so I'm just going to call it My World Manga. So I created a blogspot, because I knew people use like Blogger and Blogspot for comics and stuff, because it is a pretty decent website for comics. And I wanted to just call it My World Manga, but there was already a blogspot called My World Manga. So I was like, well, shit. Couldn't do My World Manga. So I was like, My World Manga 2. So that is why there's a 2 in the name. There was never a My World Manga 1. Unless you want to count that fucking... that 2-hour reading assignment of incest fan fiction. Unless you want to read that, that was the original My World Manga. My World Manga 2 officially started in 2020. Or 2019. I don't think it started in 2020, personally. I'm pretty sure it started in fucking 2019. All these pages were... No, they were uploaded different days. My World Manga was started in 2020. I thought it started in 2019. Whatever. But yeah, My World Manga started, and it was going smoothly. The comic was easy to make, easy to draw, everything like that. And then I ran into a problem around page 9 or 10, where I was bringing my laptop to school, like during pretty much my free periods. I know music class was one of them. I was already fucking failing. I don't know how to make music for shit. But music class was one of them. And I was bringing my laptop so I could make a page. And I vividly remember drawing the fucking maid outfit that Sylvie was in page 10. So page 10 was made at school. And I was like, this is too annoying to draw. Because when I'm home, I don't want to draw this. It would be easier to make this. It would be easier to draw My World Manga, too, when I'm bored in the middle of fucking class. So, starting with chapter 2, after page 2 of chapter 2, I was like, I'm moving to paper, and like all the MS Paint shit was just like kind of a dream. It was kind of funny. So I moved to paper, and then that made it super easy. And then after that, after I moved to paper, I made a DeviantArt to put them on as well. And again, it started going pretty smoothly. But yeah, I pretty much stuck with paper. And then, from what I remember of the events, I got sick of drawing on paper. I didn't want to do it anymore, and the pen that I specifically used for Lucy's clothes, and I think even hair, the pen that I used for Lucy's clothes was starting to run out. It was starting to die. And same thing with the pen that I used for Sylvie's hair. Like, I was starting to run out of ink for those, and I genuinely could not find another pen. And I was also thinking, I want to, like, put these on YouTube, but I don't want to have to reanimate everything. Because I tried, like, making an animation of, like, the first, like, third page. The third page. And I was like, I don't want to do this. This is fucking annoying. Because, again, I was inspired by Nien Nico's Sugar Girl, so it didn't have to be good, but I just didn't want to do all that shit. I wanted to just continue on. So, during chapter 7, I think after page 7, I moved to MS Paint drawings and just making the shit on the computer again. So like the first 7 pages of chapter 7 are paper, and after page 7 they moved to video. Yeah, I pretty much used the blogspot for extra shit, whether that be uncensored images of porn of the characters, random drawings of them, whatever, random comics I'd make. But I also started posting those on Instagram as well, not the uncensored porn of them, but on Instagram I'd post the comics as well, and even have transcriptions of some of the stuff that I made. And then I stopped using DeviantArt, and then I just completely moved over to YouTube for My World Manga 2. And eventually I'll do a comic dub of the first 6 of the first 6 chapters. I already did one for chapter 1 and 2, but I might actually redo that one because there's higher quality versions of the images. I'll get to that in a second. But still, I moved over to YouTube, and then how I was making the uncensored episodes was I was just putting them on Internet Archive, since it's a really good video hosting site for that type of stuff. I will learn later that the Internet Archive fucking sucks. Major ass, fucking dog shit of a website. But after that, I was like, you know what? My World Manga 2 is fucking unreadable, because there's no transcription of the pages, and my handwriting's dog shit. It's always been. And some of the pages were genuinely hard to look at, let alone read, because they were probably blurry. So I took the time out of my day to scan every fucking page and transcribe all, I think there was around 100 pages. Scan and transcribe all 100 pages of My World Manga 2. And then I uploaded them as a Twitter thread. And that Twitter thread still exists, not pinned anymore, because I don't want to associate myself with that Twitter account. But it used to have a giant fucking thread of every single page with transcriptions. And then I was like, what if someone doesn't want to read this on Twitter? So I decided to download all the images and the transcriptions, throw them on Internet Archive. But the problem with putting them on Internet Archive was that they were pretty much scrambled. You would have to download the entirety of My World Manga 2 just to read it. And it was organized by chapter, but it was also organized by transcription. So it was kind of hard to read. So then the final resting place for My World Manga 2 was on my Google site. It's a button, and it gives you a proper warning before you actually read it. It'd be like, here's the warning list. This is everything that's in it, every bad thing that's in it. Which that warning list will get updated once I actually continue making the fucking series. And it's organized by chapter, and the page and the transcription are on the exact same page, so you don't have to, look for them separately. And also the videos can get put on there as well, without needing to worry about file length or whatever. And since they were just links to the videos, if it was the uncensored one, I could just link to the Internet Archive. If it was this, if the page didn't have an uncensored version of one of the episodes of My World Manga 2, it'd just be from YouTube. So it was easy. And then 2 different tragedies struck. My original Internet Archive became lost media, because again, Internet Archive fucking sucks, and Archival Stash went away. And once Archival Stash went away, HQ South Sterling became a lot more of a pain in the ass to use. So I was like, fuck that. Not doing that, made a new account. And with my old Internet Archive disappearing, I thought nothing really bad would happen with My World Manga 2, but something bad did happen with My World Manga 2. One of the uncensored pages was gone. Now, luckily, I had a backup of that video, of that uncensored page. So I was able to re-upload that to the new Internet Archive. And also, in absolute desperation, I will remake the fucking episode. Because, I have the original audio. It wouldn't be hard to just replace some of the images. So, after I got all that resituated, the Google site has the entirety of My World Manga 2 on it. And you can just read all of it and watch it if you really want to. And there is that warning list to tell you, hey, there's bad shit in it. Especially sex. There's sex in it. But after all of that, My World Manga 2 continued. I re-uploaded some of the episodes from the old HQ and re-uploaded them to Call Me FDA, just so you don't have to go fucking back and forth to them. And that is pretty much everything with My World Manga 2. And that's it. After that, I start yapping on about the lore, and I go on for 30 minutes straight. But yeah, that's everything. That's the entire history of My World Manga 2. There isn't much left that's noteworthy. So, yeah, that's pretty much the entire history. That's how it came to be. I didn't really talk about how much I like drawing, but yeah. Again, I kind of want to keep this medium-sized. I don't want this to go on for an hour long, because this is just supposed to be a history video on My World Manga 2. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.